Hey guys, so today we're going to start to get an introduction to coordinate graphing, and we're just going to start by going over some key terms that you would need to know in order to be successful in this lesson. So the x-axis is this pink axis that runs horizontally from left to right. The y-axis is the vertical axis that runs up and down. And the origin is this point right here in the center where the two axes cross. The coordinates of this point are 0, 0. And this is where you start whenever you plot a point. So I first go to the origin, and then I move whichever direction depending on my coordinate. So ordered pairs are just another fancy word for coordinates, like 1, 7, 3, -4. Those are ordered pairs. And an ordered pair indicates where a point is on the coordinate plane. The signs of the numbers indicate which directions to move along the x-axis and y-axis, starting from this origin that I just mentioned. So the x-coordinate always comes first. So the first coordinate always tells you to move horizontally. So you either move right if it's a positive value or left if it's a negative value. And then the second coordinate is telling you your vertical distance, that's the y, and it either tells you to move up if it's positive or down if it's negative. So let's just see how we would graph the following points, okay? So if I had the point 1, 7, I would move 1 unit right, because my x-coordinate is a positive 1, and I would move 7 units up, because this is another positive value. If I had the point 3, -5, I would move 3 units right because it's positive, and I would move 5 units down because my y coordinate is negative. If I had the point -4, -2, they're both negative. So I would move 4 units left, and I would move 2 units down. All right, so we're going to use this knowledge of how to plot points to help us with the next portion. All right, so I encourage you guys to try to plot all these points, pause the video, and then double check your plotting to my plotting. Okay, so A is 3, 4. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 right, and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. And that's going to be point A. Okay, B is -1, 4. I'm going to start at the origin. Since 1 is negative, I'm going to go 1 left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. That's going to be point B. C is 4, -2. Starting at the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. 1, 2 down. D, -5, -4. Starting at the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. E, 2, 5. 1, 2 right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. F, -3, -1. Starting here. 1, 2, 3 left. 1 down. G, -3, 7. Starting at the origin. 1, 2, 3 left. I'm going to go 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. h 6, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, down. Just a couple more points. 2, 0. Start at the origin. Go 2 right. Don't go anywhere in the vertical direction. Don't go up, don't go down, just 2 right. 0, negative 4. Don't move right, don't move left, just move 4 down. And these are roughly where your coordinates should be. So another thing we try to figure out once we have some points plotted is the slope of a line. So let's say we had 2 points and we connected them, that would make a line. And sometimes you want to try to measure the steepness of the line. And that's a constant rate of change where we take the rise, which is the vertical change, and that's going to be over the run, the horizontal change. Okay? And our most common answers when we try to calculate the slope is we can get a positive slope. A positive slope means we're going uphill, right? So if we look at this car, they're going up a hill. You want to read from left to right, just like we read a book. So this car is going uphill. It's a positive slope. So it's going to give us a positive answer when we calculate the slope. And a negative slope would be going downhill. So again, reading left to right, it looks like this car is going downhill. And we would get a negative answer when we calculate the slope. Okay, notice there's only one negative sign, right? Negative 1/2 means I could put the negative with the 1, or I could put the negative with the 2, but I can't put the negative with both, right? Because if I got a negative over a negative, we know that a negative divided by a negative is actually a positive. Okay, so positive slopes have a negative in the numerator, a negative in the denominator, which simplifies to a positive over a positive, or it's just positive over positive. And negative slopes have a negative, either just in front of the single number or in the numerator or denominator. So what we're going to do for these questions is learn about the slope formula, and we're going to try to calculate the steepness of the line. So we don't actually need to plot these points, but just to give you guys a visual of what we're calculating, I'm just going to plot the example for A. So I have 2, 4. So I'm starting at my origin. I'm going 2 right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. I have 3, 7, starting at my origin. 1, 2, 3 right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. If I connected these 2 points with a line, to me it looks like this line is going uphill, so I would anticipate that my slope is going to be positive. Okay, now this is the formula that we use to calculate slope. Okay, these little 1s and 2s, I know they look confusing, they're just placeholders of when to use the first coordinate and when to use the second coordinate. Okay, so I know that coordinates are always x followed by y, and again, always x followed by y. And as a little placeholder, I can call the coordinate 2, 4, x1 and y1 to indicate this is the first coordinate. So this is the x value of the first coordinate. This is the y value of the first coordinate. And for 3, 7, I could put little x2s to indicate that those are the x and y values of the second coordinate. So I'm going to set up a fraction. So I'm going to subtract the second y coordinate from the first y coordinate. So my second y coordinate is 7. My first y coordinate is 4. And my formula says to subtract my second x coordinate from my first x coordinate. My second x coordinate is 3. My first x coordinate is 2. I'm going to simplify this fraction. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do 7 minus 4. which is going to give us 3. We're going to do 3 minus 2, which is 1. And then I can simplify. 3 over 1 is 3. I get a positive slope, which makes sense because my line is going uphill. All right. You could have also found the slope graphically. This is what we're going to talk about more tomorrow. Remember I said slope was the vertical change because it's y values over the horizontal change. So I can vertically see that I move 1, 2, 3 up and horizontally 1 to the right. So that's also where I get the slope from. All right. Let's try to get the slope for this final set of coordinates. So again, this is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate. This is my x coordinate. This is my y coordinate. I'm going to put the little numbers to be little placeholders. So these both get a 1 to indicate they're the first coordinate. These each get a 2 to indicate these come from the second coordinate. So again, it's y2 minus y1, our formula. So I'm going to take my second y value, which is a negative 3. And the formula says to put a minus, so I'm putting a minus. And then I'm going to subtract my first y coordinate, which is 9. Okay. For the bottom, I'm going to do my second x coordinate, which is negative 4. The formula says to put a minus, so I'm putting a minus. And then my first x coordinate is negative 5. Okay, be super careful with these double negatives. So negative 3 minus 9 gives us negative 12. The double negative on the bottom will become a plus. So negative 4 plus 5, that's 1. And again, I could simplify this. This is negative 12. And again, if you were to graph this on a coordinate grid, you should get a line that is moving downwards in the negative direction.